Hey there, this is Jexy with the Systems Alliance. In this video, I want to go over the status of Sony and what they're doing with their lack of crossplay in gaming. Specifically, now another game, Fallout 76, is calling them out. So as you may have seen in my previous video or just heard in general, because it's not just over the gaming news, it's all over the mainstream news as well, Sony is not only not allowing players of Fortnite to play with each other cross-platform. So right now you can play Fortnite with your friends if they're on PC, Xbox, Nintendo, iOS, all the platforms. But now with Sony. And in addition to that, if you wanted to play on another platform, but you ever logged in with your Fortnite account on PlayStation, on Sony, then your account is now locked. Even if you only played once and you had all your other games on the other platforms, it's now locked. So really disappointing for gamers. People are furious. Blame Sony is the new hashtag going around because of this. And it's really causing Sony to lose the hearts and minds of gamers, which they spent so long building up, which is the reason why they have sold more than Microsoft in this most recent console cycle, because they seem to really back gamers. And now they're going away from that. And this is only going to set up their rivals, Nintendo and Microsoft, to take away all of their market share come next generation, when the choice comes to consumers and gamers. Hey, do we trust Sony because we want to play cross-platform on these certain games, or can we not trust Sony? And right now, you can't trust Sony. I know people are already changing their pre-orders of games that they had on the PlayStation to Xbox, specifically because of this issue. Sony cannot be trusted right now. But now with Bethesda's Fallout 76, their game director, Todd Howard, wants to do crossplay across all platforms with this game. So in an interview that German gaming website GameStar did with Todd Howard, they asked him point blank, do you want to do crossplay with this game? And he replied, we would love to do that, but right now it's not possible. And then said point blank, Sony isn't being as helpful as we want them to be. So just to let you guys know, while gamers can rip Sony all over the internet as much as they want, it's very rare for that to happen with a game developer. I mean, they're selling their games on the Sony platform. And with a game like this, maybe they sell the most on Sony because Sony has the most units out there right now for this current console generation. So to hear that, there must be extreme frustration. And this isn't Bethesda's first time they've had issues with PlayStation. They had issues with their other games in the past, not being able to do updates on them, not being able to put in the content that they wanted for whatever reason. They had it on PC, they had it on Xbox, but Sony was the ones who were holding them back. It wasn't a developer error or something on their end. It was Sony. So once again, Sony is doing this, and Bethesda is none too happy about it, nor are any gamers or anyone else. My biggest takeaway from all of this is Sony, I believe, is going to be on the wrong side of history. You hear that a lot nowadays. Any controversy pops up, and you hear people digging their heels in with their point of view and or making certain decisions that just don't seem to be very logical, and you know in 5 years, 2 years, 20 years, whatever it is, they're going to be on the wrong side of history. To me, this is one of those cases. Sony is killing all of their goodwill that they built up straight from launch of the PS4 when they made it gamer-centric compared to Xbox One when they had their previous president who made everything, I don't even know what you would call it, centric. It wasn't gamer-centric. It was more of an entertainment system-centric. And a lot of what they advertised and forced people to buy and at what price points was all for entertainment purposes, but it wasn't to gamers, whereas PlayStation focused on gamers. Now you look at Microsoft's E3 conference this year, 2018, they're completely gamer focused with their new president. They're on a path to win the next console generation. So even though they already know they've lost this one, even though the Xbox One is selling well, it's getting beat by the best-selling console of all time, or at least it's on pace to be, in the PS4. Personally, I don't think it'll get there because I think the console cycles are getting much, much shorter now because of how fast technology is advancing. advancing. We might end up going into more of a streaming type thing, but regardless of that, Sony is setting themselves up to lose the next generation, not just behind Microsoft, but maybe even behind Nintendo. They're claiming it's all about money, and maybe in short term, it's a little bit of a cash hit for them, but long term, and just in terms of overall money from people not buying their platform anymore, from people not buying games on their platform anymore because they don't trust them, that's going to be a much bigger hit than any short-term financial gain they could get by not allowing crossplay. And really, they just get a small cut of in-game purchases from a game like Fortnite, from a game like Fallout 76. This isn't something that would be really super beneficial to them anyway. So the fact that they are going the opposite way and being anti-consumer, anti-gamer, anti-playing with your friends, Microsoft and Nintendo are taking advantage of it. They're putting out ads making fun of Sony. There's ads for Minecraft that are basically saying, let's play together. So it's crazy to think that we're in an era where Microsoft and Nintendo are the ones who are catering to gamers and Sony is not, but that's exactly what's going on right now. And I just think this is going to be a huge backfire for Sony. Just like Battlefront 2 is a backfire for EA, just like Destiny has been a backfire for Bungie, although they haven't even recovered. So I'm not even sure if it's called a backfire if you can never recover from it. But this is going to be a huge one for Sony. And it's just a big black eye that is not healing itself. It's actually getting bigger. Now they got two black eyes. You had Fortnite and now you have Fallout 76. And there's other games that also can be played cross-play, like Rocket League and Minecraft, that you can play on all the other platforms, but once again, Sony. Sony doesn't want you to have fun with your friends. They want you all to buy Sony products. But the problem is, that's not how consumers work. Yeah, there's going to be Sony fanboys, just like there's fanboys and fangirls of Xbox and PC and Nintendo. But in general, people tend to get over that at some point. And if there's something they really want to play on Nintendo, they'll do it. And with a game like Fortnite, hey, so you can be at home, play on your Xbox console, go to your friend's house, play on your PlayStation console, go on the road, take your Nintendo Switch with you, and you could play Fortnite on all of them, or rather you would be able to if Sony was allowing it. But Sony's not. So they're going to be the odd ones out. They don't have more than a 50% market share compared to all the other consoles. So to think that they're that big, that unstoppable, I think is a fatal error on their part. But let me know what you think. Do you think that this is Sony's fatal error that they're making here and that it's going to end up costing them? Do you think they're strong enough to push through this and that gamers will forget about it? Or do you think it's going to be another thing that just keeps on growing and building, especially the more games that come out, and especially considering Microsoft and Nintendo are going to try and take advantage of this and push more crossplay, and Sony's going to keep on being the odd man out in all of those situations, which once again makes them look very money-driven, greed-driven, and not in it for the gamers. So let me know your thoughts on this, and we'll catch you next time.